more accessible. It will allow things for people to online look at their accounts all the way back to a year before, where people come in and they ask us to print, a year's worth of information. They have access to that at home on their own computer. There's just a lot of conveniences there, and so and also one of the things that our current software, if we would decide to go to automation with auto readers, they would have to rewrite the program. That would come at a cost to us. Those features are built into this program. It's already there at no cost. So it's at a time that we ought to be looking at updating or changing anyway. So just wanted to make you aware of that, unless you have any questions or concerns. Hearing none, the other thing is I wanted to touch on the blacktopping and the walking path. We have concluded the blacktopping. We put out a request for grant application, I think 3 years ago, and we were granted an opportunity to get $80,000 worth of blacktopping done in the village, and we put it in conjunction with our Nature Works, which also did our blacktopping for the walking path. Just so everybody knows, those were separate monies, but we held off and did them at the same time, so we got a better quote, and it worked out very well. We ended up being able to pave some additional footages than we would have, because the company was here, they were already mobilized, and so they give us a better quote. So honestly, without going street by street, there was several things that we were able to accomplish that wasn't supposed to happen, but because of the quote we were able to. So we're very pleased with that. The other thing, for the first time I think since I've been here, don't hold me to it, but I think we've got every pothole on the streets taken care of as of this date, along with all the blacktopping. When we were in the process of doing this, the chief went out working with us and marked all of them that he knew, because of patrolling he's more aware of. And so when the companies were done, then thanks to the Allen County Engineer's Office providing us with a roller, and we had grindings from the roadway, and our guys, we set in and ground the potholes, filled them in, rolled them in, and I'm very pleased with the result, especially since we're not a blacktop company. I thought they did an excellent job. I want to thank the mayor also. I didn't get to see all of it, but if you took pictures, you got to see him actually working with a blacktop rake. But I am appreciative of the chief, the mayor, and different ones, because we ended up we put grinding walking path that wasn't supposed to happen in the wooded area, and that turned out really nice. And that really turned out nice, and that was a result of the roller. Everybody mobilized, helped out. Very pleased with the result of that. It seems like the feedback, as the chief has alluded to, has been very positive. It's a continuation of what we're trying to achieve. But I'm just very pleased with the fact that all the main roads should be good for the winter. As far as Councilman Zimmerman, is a post office delivery. Have we missed anything? I mean, honestly, because
not that
I'm very pleased with the result. I mean, because that's something that comes back at the end of every season of blacktopping, and somebody will say, well, you forgot this one, or you didn't get that one.
We do realize we have some alleys that need some attention.
Yeah, there's some alleys.
Well, and that's why I said thoroughfares.
Yeah.
And we will address those as we can.
But very pleased with that. And the walking path turned out very nice. Of course, until you get some water and rain, some of the areas that have been really major obstacles in the past, with some of the heavy rain we had immediately after it, there was no standing water. So some of the things that we've been doing is progressively getting better. Very pleased with that. We did find an area that held water that we didn't know would, because you couldn't tell it until the walking path was put in. We have a plan with the contractors to correct that problem. We won't be cutting the walking path. We'll probably bore a trap in an area to capture that water and do some tiling. So that's already been part of the project with the contractors. So that's a continuation. But That's all I had except for a resolution in front of you, and just explain it to you. We're part of AMP Ohio, as you know. Waynesfield is also part of Solar Phase 1. It's Waynesfield, Napoleon, and St. Mary's. And with that, Napoleon has requested the ability to pay their debt off early. They had some extra revenues that they wanted to do that. And when I was down at AMP a couple months ago, we voted as a committee, and along with the board's recommendation, after I checked with the attorneys, it's not going to impact us in any way, shape, or form. So we voted down there to allow them to pay their debt off. But with that, the agreement in the contract of being a member is that each participating community has to have their council vote to approve those changes, any changes to that. So what I need, this resolution is basically saying, is you're allowing Napoleon to pay their debt off. And with that, if you pass that resolution, that's all I have.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 18-10-2, a resolution authorizing approval and execution of the First Amendment active power sales contract between the city of Napoleon and AMP.
Miller,
Yes.
Newland,
Yes.
Earl,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Neely,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes.
Jill's laughing. I guess I said I was done, but I'm not.
Shaw.
This time of year is when we do the evaluations, and so I have a letter here. You each don't have it. You can see it. You can read it. The letter is to the mayor and council, and it states that if the village should choose to award pay raises for the village employees, it's my opinion that they have all performed their duties as expected and with excellence, and I recommend them for a pay increase. So that comes from my office to you as far as I recommend it, and so if you so choose, that's my recommendation. I'll get that to Jill. And now I'm done.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, mayor's report. Mayor's court, $1,355 is deposited into the general fund. Like Fred was saying, the evaluations at the end of the meeting, I would like to take a short executive session to discuss the evaluation and so on. The other thing is to reiterate on the walk path, considerable use, a lot more than I expected. The walk path that has been put through the wooded area, that was one of those fun projects where we typically don't have equipment and so on to do those types of jobs, but we figured it out. We're not, like I said, a paving company by no means, but with the help of a loaner bobcat from Greg Show, from the county's roller, and everything came together, and we made it happen. And you need to take the opportunity to take a walk through there. It's beautiful back through there. The police chief and I met with Chris Pfister from school. He's gonna come back with a proposal from their, industrial arts, VOAG, whatever groups, as to what they can do to help move that project along. They wanna be involved, and I want them to be involved. They're talking possibly making some bird houses, some bird feeders, doing different things like that in the nature park back there. So it ought to be a lot of fun. And as we go along, we're kind of looking at the possibility of being able to put up a shelter house. We're looking at some avenues to fund that. We get it to the point to where when people have their family reunions or birthday parties, that would also be an available rental spot with a lot of nice features back there. We're working on a parking area and everything. So it's gonna be very nice. So, that's all I have. Go to old business.
I'll make a motion to have a second reading on proposed ordinance 18-9-2, multi-use pass.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Newland,
Yes.
Earl,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Neely,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes. I do have a question about this though. Where would wheelchairs fall under this?
Personal mobility devices, I believe, or motorized wheelchair. A regular wheelchair is not a motor vehicle, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't apply.
That's like the motorized ones or those scooters that people ride?
Like a hover round or something like that.
Yeah,
but
are
but
those would be permitted,
the,
right?
yes, under
Yeah.
C on page number 1, motorized wheelchair is acceptable. A regular wheelchair isn't a motor vehicle, so it would be permissible on there.
Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Is there old business? Or new business? Let's go with that. Dick, could we, on this executive session along with the employee evaluation, can we include a zoning request in that informational thing?
I think that would fall under the potential litigation if it's the one we talked about,
Okay,
yes.
well, that's what I'd like to do. Okay.
I'll make a motion, we go into executive session to discuss possible litigation and personnel.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Newland,
Yes.
Earl,
Yes.
Knox,
Yes.
Neely, Zimmerman,
Yes.